psychic life coach and author. I have a very special guest, and I'm super excited that I'm going to be bringing to you tonight. My girl, my sister friend, she's one of my dearest, closest friends. Her name is Thema Azize Serwa. She is the Reverend High Priestess. She's a spiritual business strategist. She is the founder and a pioneer in womb healing, the founder of the Womb Sauna. We are going to be talking about spiritual business. We're going to be talking about spirituality and business. We're going to be talking about entrepreneurs, intuition. We're going to be talking about all the good stuff. But what I need for you all to do right now so that I know that you all can see me, because we did have a technical issue before. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube and you're watching live, type in where you are connecting from. If you're in the U.S., type in your city and state. If you're outside the U.S., put in your country, as well as your city or region. And don't just be putting the little name of your city in the U.S. like we know where that is. Because if you're in Springfield, that could be Springfield, Mass., Springfield, Illinois, Springfield, Ohio, Springfield, Virginia. So make sure you let us know where you are, right? Okay. Adrian is up in here. Sarah is in Bluffton, South Cackalack. Maya is in Broomfield, Colorado. Vivian is in Baltimore, Maryland. Thank you. Also, if you could do me this favor and forward or press share so that you share this to your timeline so other people can join this conversation, and also that they can find us, especially since we did have an issue a minute ago with the broadcast, and we had a technical glitch. So 4 Seasons, that's Jamila in Hilton Head, South Carolina, Keisha Tucker in Raleigh, North Carolina, Laura Rivers in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. I see DC, Maryland, Virginia is in the house. Yes, yes, y'all. Yes, yes, y'all. All right. So, Raven is here, Northern Virginia. Adrian is in Queens, New York City. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining. And as more people come, tag your people, tag your entrepreneur friends, tag your spiritual wannabe entrepreneur friends, tag your friends with the side hustle, tag your friends who are trying to figure out how to monetize themselves. And make some more money. Tag them if you've heard someone talk about their creative vision and they can't figure out the financing, the money, the startup money, the keep going money, the get me out my day job money, all of that. I see Mathina is in here in Maryland. She said, let the cut up begin. I know that's right. In a minute, I'm going to bring Thema on the screen. She's not on here yet. She's here, but she's not on the screen yet. Adrian says she used to be on the border between Broomfield and Westminster. Hey, Virginia and Jessup, Maryland. Gabby is in Maryland. So before I bring you our special guest, and okay, confession. It's confession. I am a little nervous about bringing this guest on my live stream. Here's why. I have the kind of private conversations with Thema that are always some next level type stuff. And in one conversation, we could talk about something deeply spiritual. We could talk about business and marketing and revenue and all of that. We could talk about love and relationships and sex. We can talk about family. We could talk about 100 different things in one conversation. Something that is like mind-blowing, and we're both intuitive, so sometimes the intuitive stuff will start coming through. And in one conversation, we could go from ratchet to spiritual and right back to ratchet to business to ratchet to whatever to laughing, all in like a short period of time, and just flow in between these different vibes, right? My fear tonight, I'm going to keep it really real with y'all. My fear tonight is that I'll forget that we have an audience and we get to start talking, and we, next thing you know, y'all all in my business because I forgot y'all were here, because that we just go there, right? We just go there. So I'm gonna try my best to be open, but also to be mindful that we have an audience, because we can see each other, but we can't see your faces. So I'm worried about that. So Linda is here in Temple Hills, Maryland. Valerie in South Carolina. Maya says she spent the first 20 years in PG County. Love to her DMV peeps. Hey, Emma Lisa Hill, welcome. She's here for the first time. Welcome, Emma Lisa. Tag your friends, hit share. Anybody that needs to be in here, because I also can tell you, we might be talking about business. We might be talking about life. You're going to get a word. Thema is one of the most powerful deliverers of messages that I have ever met. So I don't know what's going to happen tonight. I know we picked a couple of topics to talk about business wise and entrepreneurship wise and intuition wise and spiritual wise. We did, but when spirit has its way with us, we can go anywhere with this conversation. And so I'm gonna let it flow. Hey, Kimberly Roberts, first timer, welcome, welcome. Okay, so without further ado, let me read this introduction for you all. Okay, I got a new phone today, so things are not always in the same place. Oh, we love technology. We love technology. I am very pleased to introduce to you my sister friend, Thema Azize Serwa, and I'll put her in the chat. And I'm going to read to you her brief intro. So just so you have an idea who she is. Before I tell you who she is, I got to tell you how we met. Can I do that?
Yes.
Her vibe was so strong and my vibe was so strong. This was 2013-ish. And I had seen 2012, 2013. I had started working at Sacred Circle in Alexandria, Virginia. First doing stuff in the sales floor and also then doing readings there. And there were these flyers on the bulletin board. And every once in a while, the flyer would switch up. I never saw who came and switched them up, but there would be a new flyer. And these little really cute postcard flyers that said the womb sauna. I was like, what is a womb sauna? And it talked about V-steams and stuff. And but it had this woman's face on it. And she had these big eyes and she had these Bantu knots. I was like, who is this sister here? And every day I would have to walk past this flyer and I'd be like, who is that? A couple months later, we both end up vending, had tables at an event for, it was a spiritual event in DC. And she was across the room and we kept looking at each other, like making eye contact, like, I want to come talk to you, but then a customer would come for her and a customer would come for me. And it'd be like, but I see you though. And eventually we talked for like 2 minutes and then customers came, but it was just this energy. Like, I know her. And if I don't, I need to know her, but it was a deep connection. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Olivia. Hey, Sarah. Okay. So let me read you this intro. Imagine being 2 years old, standing on top of your mother's dining room table, preaching about wars you fought in your baby gibberish, then laying hands on people saying heal, and they heal. Reverend High Priestess Thema Azize Serwa, as a child, would steal her mother's lotion and stuff plants in them and call it medicine. She is unapologetically God's juju girl. By age 6, Thema launched her first business and has owned a nonprofit and multiple for-profit businesses all of her life. Here she is over 30 years later, founder and pioneer of the Womb Sauna, blazing a trail of divine feminine power that is undeniable. With a brand in 17 different countries, Thema has reached millions through her consistent message to heal everything. As a viral sensation, best-selling author, ordained interfaith minister, and radically authentic leader. That is facts. She has already documented her impact in Sheen Magazine, Huffington Post, Femi Magazine, Fox News, and many other media outlets throughout the world. For Thema, your empowerment is her passion, and she brings you a little closer to God. Welcome, my special guest, my sister friend, Thema Azize Serwa, who is in Laurel, Maryland, in the DC area. Welcome, welcome.
Woo! I've been waiting for you to let me loose.
We did it. We finally here together on a live stream at the same time. That's
at the same time? It's about to be. Hey. I'm glad you gave the disclaimer because it's needed with us.
I don't know how this is gonna go. I just know it's gonna be fire.
It's gonna be fire.
It's gonna be fire.
Hi, everybody. I see y'all in the comments. I see where you are watching from. I'm so happy y'all are here with us live. Thank you for being here.
Yes, right now we already have 33 people here, at least.
Oh, I like that number.
Tony Douglas is here, Washington, D.C. Rakita is in here. She says, come on here.
Hey, bro.
And Mathina says, don't they, though? Yes. And Libby Lee Turner Brown. Hi, lady. Thank you for coming. I'm so happy to see all these new names and new faces in here. Kimberly Kervin Roberts is here. Okay. We're not doing readings yet, so please don't ask any readings questions right now. We're going to talk business first. We're going to talk about spirituality and business. The way this is going to go, we're not doing straight readings, but intuition and spirit is always going to be speaking. At the end, after Tame and I do our thing, if we still have time, I will do some individual readings. Okay. And Tama might do some as well. She feels up to it. I don't know. But right now, please don't ask me questions because I see some already coming up in the chat. But what I do need you to do is tag your friends.
And share this live.
Right. Share this live. PJ's in here. Tucson, Arizona, by the way, of Chicago, Illinois. All right. Hey, PJ. Okay. So I don't even know where we're going to begin. There's a couple things. When it comes to, okay, you've been an entrepreneur. You are also a mother. You are a daughter. You are a sister. You are a mentor to many women. What inspired you? You said you started your first business at 6. What inspired you to launch that business at that young age? And what kind of business was it at 6?
Girl, it was called CWA, which stood for Children with Attitudes.
Oh my God.
and I drew the logo. It was a crooked diamond. So it went like that, had a little loop at the bottom. And I had everybody at recess doing this. Okay.
Oh that my was God. Me. That's the hand sign. Okay. All right.
That was me at 6. I don't have a memory of not hearing God for myself. So everything that I do is rooted in that voice. So I'm very trusting of my instincts.
Okay.
And even at 6, I was watching what was happening in my neighborhood. I was watching the drug dealers starting to come in, and I started pulling the kids together on my block. And I would sit on a little bar stool that my mom put out. She would give us a pitcher of Kool-Aid. She ain't know no better back then, so don't y'all judge my mama, okay? She didn't know about the herbs and what was in Kool-Aid, okay? But she would get a pitcher of Kool-Aid. I would sit on there, and I would talk to the kids on my block. And then it went from the block to my school. Then my mother got called in for a parent-teacher conference because they thought I started a gang because we was at recess throwing up signs and wearing matching colors.
You had colors.
I've been this way my whole life.
You had a hand sign. You had the whole shebang. So they're like, what is this child at 6? What is this child doing?
I've been like this my whole life. I don't have a memory of not feeling compelled to empower and help people.
Well, that's so much a part of who you are. I want to, so that we understand who we're talking with, I want to get a sense from people in the audience. How many of you are entrepreneurs? Put a 5 if you currently have a business. Just want to get a sense. Mathina said Kool-Aid was part of her first business too.
Mm-hmm.
Put a 5 if you currently have a business. Put a 3 if you want to start a business. Put a 1 if you're not interested in entrepreneurship, you just here for the tea. Okay, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. A lot of 5. Okay, a lot of business owners. 5, 5. And there's a slight delay, so they may not have the 3s and the 1s yet. 5, 5. Oh, there's a lot of 5. Okay, there's a lot of business owners in here. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Okay. Emma's a 3. Adrian's a 1. She's here for the tea. Latonda's a 5. Put a 8 if you are a full-time business owner, meaning that is your primary source of income. Because I just want to get a sense of where we're at. Tama, I don't know where your screen camera just went, but you here? Okay, 3, 5, 5, 5, 5, 1. A lot of 5, a lot of business owners. Put an 8 if you're full-time. There's an 8. There's another 8. Rakita, Maya, 8. Tabitha, 5. Valerie, 3. Laura says 8-ish. 7 said, Portia says 7 because that's my number. Virginia said 8. Keisha says 3. Gabby says 8. 4 Seasons Apothecary. That's Jamila. Says 8. Sarah says 8. Okay. So I just want to get a sense of who's here so we can tailor our conversation to that. What is something, okay, so I heard you say something one time, just in our own of its own, and I was like, never thought about it that way. So how do you explain that to someone that a business has its own soul or it has its own spirit? What does that mean? How can a business have its own spirit? Is a business alive?
Mm-hmm. So before I explain that part, The first thing that I explain is that you can't have any kind of success with the incorrect self concept. So,
Okay.
really, you are your business. Like, your business is an extension of how you identify yourself. And if you are clear on that, then it's easier to connect with the soul, the spirit of your business. And a simple meditation, a simple conversation allows you to recognize how your business wants to present itself. Mine is a curvy woman. Big mama womb sauna. She's stacked. She's fly. She's beautiful. And she's big mama energy in
Hmm.
the marketplace.
Okay.
But if you look at Tamer, that's what you see too, right? You see
True.
big mama energy. So I think sometimes we compartmentalize too much, especially when it comes to spiritual things. But I like to help people recognize like it's okay to see yourself as the success. And when
So,
you merge that, it becomes a viable, sentient expression called your business.
so this sentient expression is an extension of our self concept for those of us who are in business or want to be in business. Is
Mhm.
this true not just for like sole proprietors, one person business? Is this also true for larger companies with 10, 20, 30 employees, even Fortune 500
Mhm.
companies where there isn't a one owner? Do these business entities also have their own energy, soul, spirit that is a reflection of the owner? Where, at what point, if any, does that deviate from being so energetically attached to its founder? And by the way, what I
Yeah.
have at the bottom of the screen, the top of your head is cut off. So if there's any way that you can move your camera up a little bit, that would be
Yeah, of
awesome. If not,
course.
don't worry about
Is
it.
that better?
Perfect. That's perfect. Perfect.
Okay, good. So so yes, everything is energy. And what happens with a business, regardless of the business structure, whether it's sole proprietorship, whether it's a small, medium, or large corporation, energy gets duplicated. So even if the owner of Walmart is not in the Walmart store, right? Their energy is because it is a extension of their identity that they placed into a vision that got manufactured, duplicated all throughout the brand and the world, right? That's why if those of you who are listening who are intuitive, there's certain businesses you just don't resonate with and you don't know why you don't shop there. Because everything is energy.
Right.
And we should leverage that though. Like we should be so deep in our self acceptance that it's okay to be mass produced and infiltrate the marketplace. Because I like me that much that I don't mind being visible and traceable. And I don't mind monetizing myself.
Okay,
Right. And I think,
somebody is saying that the audio is choppy. Are both of us coming in choppy? We've had a bunch of technical issues tonight.
what's
So
going on
thank you everybody
tonight?
for bearing with us. But a couple people on YouTube said that the audio is choppy. Is that Facebook and
Oh,
YouTube? Is it Jamila and Tama? Is it everything? Let me know if you all can hear us okay. See if there's something that we can do to adjust. And if that's still the issue. Okay, people are saying no, they
okay.
both hear us fine. All right, well, we're just gonna rock with that. We're gonna rock with
Okay.
that. So going back to like we talked, you were saying about Walmart that it's still closely held to the vision of the founder and the energy of the founder, Sam Walton. Um, if two people found a business together as a partnership, or maybe they're
Mhm,
romantic partners and whatever, and they start a business,
mhm,
a family business, or two partners, and one leaves,
mhm,
does that change
mhm.
the energy or the self concept for the business?
It depends. It depends on how they depart.
Mm.
It depends on what they do. So that's like the equivalent of saying, I go through a divorce, who keeps the dog, right? Like, does
Mhm.
the dog stop existing just because we decide to alter how we function and operate, right? So people who have a certain level of mindfulness of spiritual principles and energy management, They know what to do. Sometimes in the split, we need to dissolve this because it's not going to remain viable. Sometimes it's okay. I can surrender it to you and I can move on without it. Or you keep this portion or that portion. But the people who don't know that your business has this spiritual energy that's circulating and is viable, they don't even know what to do. They don't even acknowledge, they don't have an awareness of it, which is why I like to have the conversation that everything is energy. And for the maximum level of success, whatever that looks like for you, you will need spiritual principles to govern how you operate in the marketplace.
So, okay, this raises a good point because there are all of these. When you start a business, somebody might Google it and it's like, this is step one, step two. You might go to a business
Mhm.
center, you might read a book. When I started my first full-time business, I was like 23, 24. And
Yeah.
I was so busy trying to figure out what is the market, the product, the inventory, all this stuff. I had no idea that what I was really embarking on was a spiritual journey through the course
It
of
is a
running a
rites of
business.
passage.
Right. It was a rites of passage. It was and still is an initiation. Just when you think there's a level, there's another level. The whole thing was a spiritual journey. It tested my faith, my money, my faith, my finances, relationship, faith, family, friendships, relationships, tested everything, tested my sense of self, who I thought I was. Um,
Hmm.
so there is this spiritual part. Now, I was very young and so I didn't even know what I didn't know. But you mentioned something about spiritual principles and starting a business. What are the key spiritual principles that someone even needs to think about as they are starting or running or expanding or restarting or relaunching a business? What should we be thinking about
Hmm.
along the line of spirituality? Because some of the stuff that I see about spirituality is either about being a good steward of your money, which presumes that you have a money to be good steward over, or
Hmm.
it's about, quote, manifesting, which still is not necessarily a spiritual principle from that perspective. So what do you mean when you say spiritual principles for
Hmm.
businesses and for entrepreneurs? And what should people be thinking about spiritually?
So I'm going to answer that. And I want to comment on something you mentioned. The reason why starting a business and journeying into entrepreneurship affects every single aspect of your being and your life is because it is the very action of God, which is creating. Right? So
Okay.
nothing is closer to the imitation of God power than creating something,
Okay, say that again.
than say,
Say
than
that
saying,
again.
let there be and it is so.
Nothing is
Which
nothing is closer to the power of God than creating something. Did I get that right?
that's correct.
Okay, that's a
So you
switch.
can't embody the level of success that you envision without seeing yourself correctly. I could go through all kinds of, look, I'm an ordained interfaith minister. I could quote from several texts, all kinds of spiritual principles. I'm going to make this very, very streamlined for you tonight. If you are trying to crack the code on how to be successful in business and you've been having difficulty, there is a self-identity crisis issue. There's
Okay.
something about your self-concept that needs to be reconfigured. You're trying to produce through your business. The business is just the container for your essence and your power.
Okay, so are you saying that you have to know who you are before you start a business?
No, I'm saying